when we talk about disappointed or disappointing or disappointment, do we mean a person disappointing us? Do we mean a situation disappointing us? Or do we mean self-disappointment? I find it honestly most of the time it's me who is getting disappointed, but the other person, whenever I open it up with them, they're not disappointed at all. They said, no, I did not mean that. Why are you disappointed? You know, it's my life, this is how I think, this is the color I see, but I am still disappointed. Have you been disappointed?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's an internal experience, disappointment. I mean, what isn't an internal experience? But it's the feeling I feel when I'm feeling disappointed is a loss. It's like a sadness and a loss of what I was hoping would happen.
Oh, it's a horrible feeling, yes.
Yeah. And it feels a little bit helpless, hopeless.
Betrayed sometimes?
Not really. Betrayal is a little punchier, but the
Right.
disappointment just seems like a softer, sadder, lower vibe that you know, that makes me feel a bit sapped of energy and, you know,
Drained?
yeah, a little drained and you know, difficult. I can just see myself in my mind's eye not able to lift my head because you know, like Eeyore in Winnie the Pooh, you know, that you know, that constant disappointment feeling. And I really believe that it's when I have an expectation of something or someone and it doesn't turn out that way, and then I can feel terribly disappointed or and in myself. You know, recently I missed a train in France ridiculously. I mean, I was there for so long, I had all my time, I just got the time wrong with the time change and watched my train leave. And I felt so disappointed in myself that I'd been waiting there for so long and had all this time, blah, blah, blah. So I beat myself down, which was a part of that disappointment in myself, that I wasn't cluey enough to get the time right and get on that train. So it's not a nice feeling, that disappointment.
No, it's not. No, especially if, I understand what you're saying, when this is a self-disappointment. I haven't done my homework, maybe I should have come earlier. That's fine, but you still can catch another train. In a relationship, if you are disappointed from the person, sometimes you tell yourself, you know what, this is the end of the story. A disappointment after another disappointment, then I think you lose the power of the grip and you just let it go.
Well, again, it depends on like how you spin it as well, right? So I think if you, when it comes to other people, so outside of the self-disappointment, but when it comes to other things and other people, I think we have to be a little more fluid in the way we approach it, right? Because things have a certain time frame, people have a certain time frame, people work differently, things work differently. So when we cast our expectation on other people because we expect that, from my point of view, I can get this done like this, in this particular way, but somebody else can't, you will feel disappointed because you did not live up to what I expected.
But what if you know the person? If you know the person, this person is up to it, this person is punctual, as you
right.
And then you get disappointment after disappointment, and isn't that horrible feeling, internal burnout?
Well, again, for me, I don't personally like to be disappointed by others in that sense. So it's just that I sort of respect everybody's journey, and that's how I see it. It's about respecting that person's pathway. If I expect something, why am I not getting it? So what is it that I want that I can't give myself, number one, you know, or why can't I just take control of the situation? I don't see the sense in being disappointed by others in that sense, right?
But you might be disappointing someone else.
Well, that's up to them.
That's
up to them. But I'm with you entirely.
Yeah.
The feeling of disappointment is quite difficult.
It's a low
but it's the
vibe,
belief.
as you said.
It's the belief that they are the only ones, or they are the ones to make my life okay in that moment, or that my expectations or my needs are needing to be met and they can't do it. So I'm right with you. You know, they have their journey, they have their path. If they can't do it, they can't do it.
They can't do
and I'll
it,
do
and
it for
it's not
myself.
their time, exactly.
And
so,
that could be, it could be a break in the relationship, or it could just be living very respectfully. I'll look after me, you look after you, and we'll come together.
And we'll come back at some point again, right? The thing is, you can't put, the saying goes, you can't put all your eggs in one basket. And if that's how we're approaching life, we're putting all our eggs into one basket, we will be always disappointed. And is that the life you want to choose to live?
It's a dependency. To be disappointed is a dependency.
Yeah, it's like you're expecting, you're sort of setting yourself up to be disappointed if you're putting expectations on others rather than trying to fulfill what your need is in many different ways.
And even if values are not met, if they're not shared, then there's no point in being disappointed when it's clear that we just don't share the same values.
Exactly.
So, you know, I don't need to beat you up. I can just say...
It becomes a burden on the relationship as well, right? Because if you continuously feel disappointed, the other person might just feel like a failure. Well, I haven't lived up to your expectations of me.
And
you
also,
know, and that's not fair.
Yes, and also when we're disappointed because something hasn't happened, it's almost like we're grieving the life we think we should have that we don't have.
Yeah, but why can't you be happy in the life that you actually
So where's the grief?
Have?
You know, where's the reason for grief? I mean, what about the life that I'm actually living? Is that not possible to be enjoyed and cherished, or do I have to live in the imaginary world of what I've not got or what didn't happen?
Exactly. And if you you're putting all these factors in, so if that's why for me, I think personally the self-disappointment is what really affects me when I do not live up to my own expectation, right? That's what really bothers me the most, because I remember, like, out of the pandemic, you know, everybody went online during the pandemic. So I was doing all my webinars online, doing everything online. And then the first in-person event that we had that I had to present, well, I had my expectations of me, because I know me normally. I know me from before. I know the work I've done. And I delivered, but it just was not me. Like, I did not do what I would have normally done, and I was completely critical with myself. Now,
you mean work-wise, or
this was work? This was work, because I was a presentation, right? It's a well-being session we had, and I
didn't give the best of yours.
I didn't give the best of myself. I'm like, what's wrong with me? Right? And that's me. I am somebody who gives my best. I give my best in every. That's just my personality. That's part of who I am, right? I give my best. So to finally show up in front of people after 2.5 years and have something and then not be my best, and nobody recognized. That's the thing. That's what hit me the most, is like, nobody else recognized that I was not my best, right? Nobody else. I was the only one who lived in this world.
Because that best is internal also.
Exactly.
Trying to be hit by an internal, you know, target.
And it was hard. It took me a while to get over that self-disappointment, because and then, you know, we have to change the way we think, right? And I'm like, okay, what can I learn from this situation? What did I do? What can I improve? Or how do I get it back? You know, and then it just became a challenge.
It's a bit like guilt. You know, disappointment and guilt can serve its purpose only by learning from it and improving. But it's not something that serves us if we stay in it and we wallow in it and we lose our awareness of what's going on in our life that's doing very well, you know, that we're okay at.
You have to work through it, and that's why I say, if you find that you're getting back to your question with being disappointed over and over again, and obviously I am doing something wrong, not necessarily the other person, right? Because I keep putting my eggs in this basket that's not being fulfilled. Then I need to change my strategy. I need to change my game.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Get the eggs from somewhere else.
Exactly, right? So it's that same concept altogether again, right? We have to be able to know, how we approach it. And so it's not about, it's okay, and I feel it's really perfectly fine to have what we call these negative feelings. I think it's fine. Disappointment, we had spoken about failure. You know, these are things we just have to accept, because the world works in a polar. There is polarity to everything.
Well, there's concepts in the world. And we can believe them or not. We can follow them or not.
No, but there's night and day. There's, you know, hot and cold. There's polarity, even though they're
But concepts are different. Disappointment, failure, that's a concept. Day and night is something that we can observe. But
it's a concept. It is a concept, but it's still a feeling. It's a human feeling.
Yes, you know, because when we think, we feel. So when I think that I'm not meeting my my mark, I'm not doing as well as I should, then I feel
but I
the
think
emotions that come with disappointment.
Open to it.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
yes, completely.
We need to be very open and even give it.
Well, we can't not be. It's going to happen whether we're open to it or not.
Exactly.
We're going to feel it.
And we have to identify it. And I think when you identify how you actually feel, then it gives you, you're working from a place of knowledge.
But there's no way in the world that disappointment can be a positive feeling. It's absolutely a negative, horrible feeling.
Exactly.
I mean,
that's why I explore the feelings in the beginning of this conversation, because to get in touch with how it feels to be disappointed, it changes our life, it changes our actions, it changes our interaction.
and it can be a very learning point. Sometimes
It is.
Right.
It is. It all is. All these negative things are.
Sometimes when you get disappointed from the people who you think or believe you would never be disappointed from, it's here you go. This is a learning point.
You're faced with it, right? But it's a
and then you move on.
Exactly.
Hopefully you move on.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you just become.
And you grow. That's the thing. The whole idea is to grow, hopefully, and that's why. For disappointment, it's a reality. It's a feeling. It can happen.
Is it a feeling or is it an emotion?
Well, they're both. Feelings and emotions.
Yeah.
I feel my emotions, you know.
Yeah, you feel it, right? You would feel
it,
Yeah, feelings of sensations can be sensations, and emotions are, you know,
right.
Bigger.
Yeah. So I mean, you have that experience, right? You're going through this experience, but I think it's how self-aware are you to identify what it is you're feeling, because a lot of times people mix up these feelings, right? You're not sure, you may be acting out of anger, or you're
should you write it down? There's a technique that we
Why
know.
not?
Why not?
Right?
Why not?
It helps actually to
any sort
observe
of
what I'm going
expression.
through.
Yeah, any sort of expression. It could be music, it could be painting, it could be cleaning up your house, it could be anything that gives you that sense of expression. It's like wherever you're able to channel what you're feeling to understand it a bit better.
But a series or multiple disappointments from different things, from the market, from the stock market, from the real estate market, from partners, from work, from many things around you, can change you.
Right.
And it does play a vital role to change you. Sometimes we get changed because of multiple disappointments.
Well, that's what I was referring to. If our belief system is saying, I've been disappointed because this is not working for me, I'm going to stay in this very heavy, lower energy, which makes me feel like Eeyore again, you know, where I can't face the world, and there's no point, and there's no reason, and I'm always disappointed, and no one ever comes through, and you know that's why our world changes.
Maybe I'm attracting these disappointments as well.
Well, we attract the energy we have,
yes,
right? So if it is we are in that state of constant misery.
So maybe the disappointment, why it is happening to me? Why all these disappointments happening to me?
Why am I attracting this?
Why am I attracting it?
What is it that I'm needing to learn?
It's happening to me.
What can
it's happening
I do?
to me because I'm attracting them.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
what's the lesson I need to be learning that I'm not, because this is the 15th time I felt like this?
Exactly.
What's the universe is trying to teach me
Exactly.
here?
Am I being redirected?
And
what is it I have to learn from it?
For me anyway, it's not a one word solution, but I do believe that it's my dependency on others and other things to make me okay. You know?
And that's not a safe thing, right? You can't rely on other people necessarily.
No, that's right. That's why the dependency is always going to make me feel.
So and that's, it's where it's that
I lose my
concept
agency
of self-reliance, and that's where the spiritual connection also helps, right? When you have a connection to
Can you
a
be
higher
disappointed
purpose.
from a spiritual connection?
Well, that's the thing.
What if you pray and nothing happens?
Well, it's because I think that you're looking at the wrong thing. You know, you're not looking at what spirituality actually even is.
Exactly.
You know, if it's I really need a $10 voucher for McDonald's because I'm starving. Well, maybe not, but maybe someone will walk along and say, "Hey, do you feel like going to McDonald's with me?" And there's the spiritual response. I don't know,
but that's the thing. Spirituality more comes from a sense of purpose, right? Like, what are you're connected to something.
She said
that's higher
McDonald's. I'm hungry now.
You're really
the
hungry.
power of suggestion.
I doubt.
I should be in media, really.
No shares with McDonald's here, people.
Yeah, so. Not interested at all.
Yeah, but I think it's really about that knowing that connection to the why these things happen, or there's purpose behind
completely.
this thing,
That's
right?
absolutely
And that's where the
my
spiritual
view.
connection comes in.
Yeah, why is this even happening in the beginning, and what was it that I was setting myself up to fail?
Exactly. So even if I pray about it, and I pray and I'm not getting the answer that I think that I need to get, then in it also lies the answer that I haven't probably figured out what I needed to learn, and that's why this situation is not changing.
I mean, a typical example while we're living in Dubai, right, is visas.
Right.
When you're applying for a visa to go somewhere, and you're waiting and you're waiting and you're thinking of your holiday, and you've packed your bag and you're a million times in your mind, and you've already written to the people who are going, and your visa doesn't come through.
Right.
Well, you can look at that two ways, and as you said, you can spin it, because we have a part of our, you know, prefrontal cortex that is called the spin doctor. Damasio named it, you know, it's the interpreter. So visa's not coming, interpretation, miserable, horrible, this is going to be terrible. So the spin doctor makes everything very negative or very positive. So why not turn it to a more positive? Okay, I didn't get the visa, so what does this mean? Obviously I'm not meant to go.
Exactly.
So where shall I go?
What's plan B? Exactly. Right? So it's how you learn and how you manage. But I think when it comes to these types of emotions, it's about identifying exactly what you feel, identifying why. You know, why do I feel this way, or what led me to this feeling in the first place? And then after that, you try to figure out what the steps am I going to take to learn what I need to learn out of this, so that it doesn't repeat
And it comes
itself.
with grit, it comes with resilience, it comes with personal responsibility, it comes with maturity, it comes with an open mind. So, you know, if you're lacking in any of those areas, then you're going to feel the victim of circumstance, and you'll be disappointed.
So it's okay to be disappointed?
Yeah, it's part of
course,
life.
Go
It's
for
part
it.
of journey.
Enjoy.
It's part of the journey.
And this is exactly what I want to tell you. If you get disappointed, what do you feel? What do you go through? Tell us. And if you learn from your disappointment, tell us what have you learned. We would like to read as well. We'd like to know. At this note, we'd like to say thank you for being with us. Have a nice day. Bye-bye now.